How you doing? I'm Eric Longo. I'm McKinstry's Seattle Manufacturing Facility Manager. I'm the program manager for our shop. Let's go inside and take a look and see what we got on the floor. So our facility overall is 100,000 square feet. It's comprised of local 66 on the sheet metal side, local 32 on the plumbing and piping side. Currently right now we're running about 60 folks on the sheet metal side, guys and gals. We have 10 architectural metals who also falls under local 66. We have about 15 to 18 pipe fitters from local 32, and we're about 7 plumbers from local 32 as well. So we'll start over here in our sheet metal area, taking a look at our main production laser and our fiber laser that uses nitrogen and oxygen as the cutting gases. This is our newest piece of equipment, which is a BiSmart from Bystronic 4 kilowatt fiber laser. It can cut all of the specialty metals, so your brass, copper, stainless steel, aluminum, all the shiny and textured metals. It also is able to cut mild steel up to 3/4 inch thick steel plate. It's coupled with an automatic loader that has 2 cassettes to where you can put 3,000 pounds of material on each cassette, and it will automatically load those sheets, a 5x10 sheet, onto the cutting table in preparation to get it into the laser. On the other side is our main production laser for our non-standard rectangular size fittings. It's a 1.5 kilowatt laser that uses compressed air as the cutting, and it's able to roll out a 5x20 sheet of sheet metal. From here, fittings that get cut out in the flat are placed on tables, and then the rectangular fittings will rotate over to our rectangular forming line, and all the round pieces will head down this bay to our round forming area over there. So let's go take a look at our rectangular forming line. So once all the non-standard rectangular size fittings are cut out in the flat, they're placed on a table. Every table and every cart in here has wheels on it to provide versatility and ease of movement so that we're not manually having to pick up heavy pieces of sheet metal and equipment. The table will come over here, kind of like you see staged here. It'll have all those fittings here in the flat, and then it'll work its way down this line, going through the beater, going through the edge and seam connection, and it'll work its way down. That whole order will work its way down to the assembly area, which is down the line. So after the order comes down here and it's ready to be assembled, this is our assembly area. There's multiple stations here. Again, everything is on wheels, so this workspace is actually very dynamic and flexible. The final staging area for all the orders before they go out and get delivered to the job sites is our quality assurance, quality control station. Tom Quibbins is over here. He checks every single fitting and will initial the quality check on every sticker for every fitting to ensure it's built right, it looks good, and the order's complete prior to pushing it over to the logistics staging area. So in this area, this is our spiral area where we make all of our round pipe. We have mandrels that can go up to a 54-inch round spiral. And the way we do it, that's unique, I think, to our shop, is we'll have carts set out for each project, and the guy or gal that's running the spiral machine will run all the 10-inch first, and then separate it out by project, and then run all the 12, 16, 18, so on and so forth. That way they're not changing the mandrel over for every project, and it really increases efficiency. We normally do standardized lengths of 6, 8, 10, 12 foot sticks of duct. All depends on what the project is able to handle on the logistics side. This is our mechanical piping shop where we do mechanical piping. We also do some structural steel for our skid frames, for our mechanical frames. We've done some catwalks and stairwells as well. As you look down the shop, all the pipe will come in on the north end and it will get cut. This is our main production plasma cutter on the pipe shop. This is our Watts machine. We use pipe server. All the orders are input by the foreman. Pipe comes in, cuts out the length of pipe from there, and then it moves down the shop. So this is our typical weld booth. We've got a Teams positioner in there that we chuck the pipe in. We use pipe stands, and the welder is able to dial the settings in from our positioner and our Pipeworks welder so that they can focus on that weld while the pipe is turning for them. One of the nice things about our entire shop is that we have 6 overhead bridge cranes that really gives us the flexibility to use mechanical means to lift heavy equipment, heavy piping, heavy material, and we're not putting a lot of stress on our employees on the physical side. So something else that our shop does with our project teams, which I think is phenomenal, is we'll build out these mechanical skids that will then get flown out to a project. We have an in-house structural engineering team that works with us on the design of the frames and the base. We have an in-house carpenter team that can come in and pour the concrete here in the shop. And then all the equipment is sent from the project teams to us in the shop, where we'll assemble it on the skids, do all the testing here inside a controlled environment, and prep that mechanical skid so that it's ready once it gets set in place out on the construction site. So this is our plumbing shop. Same concept as our piping shop. The pipe will come in the north bay door where we have our cast iron cutting stations. This is where the copper gets staged, stainless steel and plastics. As the material works its way down through our plumbing shop, we have a big marble bandsaw that cuts our stainless. We have a snap cutter that cuts our cast iron. And then we have an automated tiger saw that cuts all of our copper up to 4-inch. It's an automatic loader and cutter, so it's very easy for the one operator to use. And what our cutting software does is it maximizes the amounts of cuts we can get for a 20-foot stick of copper. So they'll put the order in, they'll hit go, it'll automatically feed it, and then the operator is able to go on the other side and catch all of the cut material, label it, and stage it as it's continually cutting. So again, increases efficiency so that we have one guy or gal that operates this machine. Our theory in our plumbing shop is a cut and kit method. So we'll cut the lengths of pipe. So we'll cut all the stainless, we'll cut the pipe to length as needed per order, and then we'll kit up all of the fittings. So we'll pre-order all the fittings, the 90 elbows, the 45s, and we'll bag and tag those. So all those will either go into a bag or in a big apple crate labeled for that order, and it will accompany the length of pipe when it gets delivered to the job site. One of our favorite areas in our plumbing shop is what we like to call Toilet Town. So what we've done is we prefabricate all the wall carriers that go in wall here in the shop prior to get out on site. They'll get plumbed up so the waste and vent, all the interconnecting water lines will get tied in here in the shop and everything's sloped right. And then this whole carrier skid will go out to the job site on wheels and it'll get rolled into place, and all they have to do is unbolt it from the rack, set the carriers in place in wall on where it's going to be installed, and make their final field connections to the water lines and waste and vent lines. So this is our coil line. This is where we make our standard size ducting. It's an all automated process. This equipment is also coil fed. It has 6 coils on this side, so we're able to put 6 different gauges on this side. As it rolls off the coil, it'll go through a beater and a shear. As it changes conveyor tracks, it'll run through the rolls to put that snap lock or S and drive connection on there. And then as it comes down this track, there's 2 TDF rollers, and then it'll come down here at the end where this brake will clamp on and bend it into its 90-degree shape. When this equipment is up and rolling, it takes us about 17 to 18 seconds to run one section of duct through. If it's sound line, it takes a little bit longer. But on this side, on the standard side, we've got one operator and 2 or 3 guys or gals at the end that'll be making the seam connections, so a lot less hands touch it on this side than it does on the forming side. So this is our architectural metal section, which is also comprised of local 66 sheet metal workers, whereas on our sheet metal side, they move air. These guys and gals will move water away from buildings. They'll do screen walls, they'll do all the decorative architectural panels on the inside, outside, handrails, They basically make the building look pretty for the finished product. A lot of projects we do in Seattle, they're looking for historical cornices and fascias that you can't buy anymore. So we will be able to custom fabricate that. So I think that's one of the specialty things that these guys and gals do here in our architectural metal shop. So above our shop, we have our project shop office where our director of manufacturing sits. We have a senior project manager up here along with the project engineers and project coordinators for our shop department. We also have a 3D printed out to scale model of our entire shop, which with how dynamic the industry is and how dynamic manufacturing is, we're able to take these parts and pieces. If we wanted to do a new layout or get a new piece of equipment, we can come up here, game it out to make sure that it will fit, the process flow will work, prior to spending millions of dollars in time and equipment and manpower to move things down on the floor and realize it's not going to work. One of the last things that's special about our shop is when you walk in, you look up and you can see these jerseys on the wall. There are folks that have done time with McKinstry that have been impactful to the company, to the shop, to the community, and it's a way we commemorate them by putting their retirement jersey on the wall. As you can kind of see, it starts up there with George Allen way up in the first one, and the design as you get down to the bottom has all the stainless steel and better design, which is significant reflection of our increased capacity with our new laser, and we're able to expand on that design and just make them prettier as they go. I would say aside from the equipment, the innovation, the tooling that we have, one of the things that I think is unique about our shop here at McKinstry is the camaraderie between the other shops. The biggest thing is our teamwork. You know, McKinstry is a family and they do value their people first, which is their #1 value, and I see it here every day, day in and day out. That about covers it. Thanks for spending time checking out the Seattle manufacturing facility. Until next time.